So let's get into Dallas. I gotta say, Dallas has become one of my favorites. I don't know why. I think out of all of them, I'm most excited for Dallas. I don't know why. I think it could be possibly because of Tiffany Moon. I love Tiffany Moon. I love her. I want to be her friend. I want to talk to her about medicine. I want to talk to her about everything. I just love her. I don't know why. I really just, she's annoying and brilliant. Like, she's so, by the way, I think she's fucking gorgeous. She is so hot. I fancy her as well. Who do I fancy tonight? I've said a lot. Maybe I'm feeling a bit frisky. I I fancy Melissa. I fancy I to Tiffany Moon. I fancy the most. We also fancy Melissa. Who was the other housewife? Oh, Kenya. Oh, I do fancy Kenya as well. But I've most out of everybody fancy Tiffany. Tiffany, I think, is so hot. I think she's so beautiful, and I think she's a lovely girl. I think she's a really nice girl. I like a lot of it. Anyway, so they start off with this dinner, which I feel like I've seen this dinner for years, but because they had this like break in between, whatever. And Stephanie tells Tiffany that she didn't find her very welcoming and that she thought she bragged because she was talking about toilets. And Tiffany's obviously explaining like, oh, didn't know that. Tiffany makes this point that when she gave her rules, she feels more comfortable when people give rules because then she knows kind of what to do. And I fully agree with that. I much prefer to go somewhere where someone says, these are the rules. I like rules. I like to, just like Tiffany said, I like to know what I should do and what I shouldn't do. I like to know what it is because come to me, give me rules, give me regulations, tell me what to do. I like a seating arrangement, all of that. I love it. Just like Tiffany, I don't know what it is. I guess there's this like social anxiety or panic when like there isn't a rule that you don't know what to do. You just like what do I do? You know, sometimes it's easier when it's harder. Like it's easier when you have rules. It's easier when you have constraints. It's easier when you have restrictions. If you have limitations, then there's only a certain amount of things that you can do. If you have no limitations and complete freedom, it's like, well, the possibility is endless. And sometimes the possibilities aren't what you want. That's a philosophical gift for you that I've just given you. Anyway, so Cam said that she doesn't like it when Tiffany corrects her. I'm kind of with Tiffany on this one as well. Like, I understand, like, sometimes Tiffany does say things and correct somebody and it can be derogatory, and sometimes that can be the case. But they gave the example of when Cam said, you're two-faced, and what she really meant was that you're being contradictory. And Tiffany kind of tells her the right thing to say. I feel like Cam doesn't have anything, like, you don't have a leg to stand on. Like, you're having an argument and you accused her of being something that wasn't the right thing and she corrected you. You're having an argument with someone. Like, you don't get to say what someone else should say in an argument. Like, that's it. Excuse me. And I agree with Tiffany. Cam needs to be corrected. Now, Cam does say things that are wrong all the time. I'm sure it's annoying for her to hear people always telling her that she's wrong. But you know what? Soz, like, sorry, but that's what happens. So, really, Cam, don't care. Tiffany, I'm on your team. So D'Andra then goes off into meditation, and I honestly looked at this moment. I was like, I might be D'Andra. Is she a Taurus? If D'Andra's a Taurus, I actually have a feeling D'Andra's a bloody Taurus. If she is, because I'm a Taurus, and if she's not, then this is ridiculous. But I feel like I'm D'Andra. One, because I'm an only child, and D'Andra was an only child. And it does, I mean, she had like stepbrothers and sisters, so I guess that's a little bit different. But like, you know, when you're an only child, you're an only child. Like, you literally are just about yourself. Like, people, you try and have friends, and this is the problem. You either become so friendly with people that you think they're your family and you love them to death, and it's too much because they break your heart, because they're not that, friends can't always be perfect. And then, or you just have to keep everyone at arm's length, which is honestly, I was one way and now I've gone to the other. Like, keep everyone at arm's length. D'Andra, no, what's her name? D'Andra, I don't know, Dallas. Okay, so D'Andra's a Pisces. Usually Pisces are the star sign that I hate the most. Sorry if you're Pisces, but like, you're the star sign that I'm like, oh my God, like, you're so pathetic. Shocked. Yeah, D'Andra disappointed me. But anyway, I feel like I'm her, and this is why I feel like I'm her, because she was meditating with the shaman. Like, I want to be peaceful, I want to be calm, but then arguing with people. So it's like, that's kind of what I do. Like, I'm like, meditate under the tree, be really peace and calm. I want love and peace. Leave my meditation, meet someone, cuss them the fuck out and tell them how they're fucking disgusting. It's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do. What is this, Captain Dick? Brandi, I've got to say, don't know what's happened to Brandi this season. I'm going to talk about Brandi later, but like, Brandi for me makes me just feel not positive. I just don't know. Something about Brandi is not me. I think she needs help. I think she needs to go back to rehab. She's just not, something is not good with Brandi. And it's sad because I love her. Anyway, so D'Andra does her meditation, and then she has all these like ointments and these sprays, like manifest sprays, and she has these things like, oh, I spray this zinc and I put it under my tongue or whatever, and it makes me feel good. And I am that kind of person. Like, I honestly, if you could like just, I mean, everyone knows I'm a tarot reader. Does everyone know that? I don't know, but if you could look around my room, I have things, herbs, sprays, things, crystals, everything hanging about. But this is the thing, okay? I really feel like they work, and I'm all about like the positive manifestation. But she did all of this stuff to keep COVID away, and she actually caught COVID. So I'm a bit like, look, am I being a dick? Like, am I full of shit? Like, is all of this just bollocks? And maybe I should just listen to Western medicine. Like, maybe Western medicine's actually the best thing. Because I would much prefer an acupuncture session or a voodoo or like some kind of like Reiki, like blah, blah. I'm all about that kind of spiritual shit. But I'm just thinking, look, D'Andra had, sprayed her zinc and she still caught COVID. So maybe I should just get the vaccine. Honestly, by the way, I was an anti-vaxxer. I read all the conspiracy theories prior to this. COVID, I was like, conspiracy theory, vaccine gives people autism, everything. And I'm still like not 100% on all the vaccines. Like, maybe some vaccines need some help. Like, maybe there was some older, but listen, the COVID vaccine, inject it to me. I want all of them. I want the Oxford. I want the Pfizer. I want the Zinc, whatever. Everyone who come in, put them all into me. I want them all. I don't want COVID. I do not want COVID. Do you know why I don't want COVID? Side note. I've actually spoken to so many people now who have caught COVID. Friends, family, people who are extended family, all of those people. And they have long-term effects of being extremely tired and like not able to do stuff. And I know somebody who literally, they had COVID and now they have to go to bed at 6 p.m. every night because they're so exhausted. I do not need that at all. I'm already exhausted. I'm a tired fuck. And honestly, I struggle to even do the job that I'm doing right now. If I want to be a singer, I do. I want to be a singer, I'm going to do it. I do not need COVID in my life. If I'm tired at 6 p.m, it's not happening. Like, I just don't need anything to make me more tired than what I really am. So, don't need COVID. Mask on. Inject me with the Pfizer, the Oxford, the Astra, the this, the that, the whatever you need. Give it to me, and I will take it all. And the fact that D'Andra caught it with all her zinc sprays makes me think that maybe I've been a fool and maybe the zinc sprays don't work, and my sage and my Palo Santo and whatever, and rose oil, which I love. Rose oil, rose scent, rose. I love the rose. Anyway, I'm reconsidering my beliefs. So there's this really weird moment where Brandi is giving everyone like anti-sickness tablets, and on the bus she gave everyone one that dissolves under the tongue. But then when she was on the boat or wherever they were, I was assuming on the boat, for some reason I feel like the Housewives are always just on a boat these days, and she gave everyone like an anti-sickness tablet, but it was one that wasn't dissolved under the tongue. It was like when you swallow with water, with liquid. And I think Cam put it under her tongue, was like, "Oh, Brandi, this tastes disgusting. This isn't the one that's under the tongue." And then Tiffany's like, "Oh no, you got it wrong. Like that's not the same one that you gave us earlier. That's the one that you swallow. That's not an under the tongue thing." And Brandi takes that as Tiffany trying to insinuate that she's giving out like drugs that isn't correct. And honestly, I've never seen anyone over exaggerate something into something and over. I've never seen anyone do that in my life in that kind of way. Like, have I got. What's going on? Oh, that was the last picture I took of Dallas. Sorry. Yeah, I have never seen anyone over exaggerate and make something out of nothing in that way. That I found that ridiculous. I was literally like, oh, what the fuck? I've never seen. Tiffany was literally just like, oh, the one that you gave us earlier was the one that was under the tongue. This one isn't under the tongue. You have to swallow it. So like, Cam, that's why it tastes like shit. And Brandi's like, oh, she's insinuating that I'm giving out bad drugs. And honestly, she's only really saying this or feeling like this because she made that horrible video where she, put like, people were commenting to her saying that you look Chinese or whatever because your eyes are small or slanted or whatever that people were saying. And she like, pretended to be Chinese and was like, everybody's whatever she was doing. Like, and obviously she got a bit of flack for that because she called out Leanne for being racist. So then she got called out on her racism. And then And now she's projecting it onto Tiffany, who Tiffany has done nothing wrong here apart from just be Chinese. Like, Tiffany's just entered on the scene and has just been Chinese. And now Brandi feels awkward around her because Brandi's scared that if she says anything, I guess, negative towards her. I get this in a sense, in housewife sense, that she feels like if she says anything negative towards Tiffany, it's going to be perceived as racist. But by being so scared, you're now looking at Tiffany's behavior and you're analysing whether she's coming at you, which is not fair because Tiffany's not coming at you in any way. But you're seeing everything into it and you're scared. Oh, this whole thing when it comes to, because she brings up later on, she says to Tiffany at the dinner, which is the ending scene, where she says, do you feel comfortable around me? She's like, I don't feel comfortable around you. And Tiffany's like, well, I don't know why, because I like you and I think you're great and like we have a good time and I don't have any issue with you after I don't think you're racist. And Brandi's like, well, I just feel awkward around you. Like, if I make a joke, I'm gonna be perceived as racist. And I'm just like, I just want to let everybody know who's white. Because it seems to be just a white problem that people question. Like, people are now extra sensitive, so you have to be somewhat careful of what you're saying. But we are all having to do it. I'm doing it as well because I'm mixed race. I'm black. I identify as black, and there are for my whole life people have looked at me and said you're black. It's only now that because of this, with now, Black Lives Matter and the retaliation from it, that people are saying like, well, you're not full black, so why do you support Black Lives Matter? Blah blah blah. Listen, I have a certain amount of privilege because my skin is light. I have a bit more privilege than my darker skinned brothers and sisters. There are some people who are lighter skinned than me and have a certain amount of privilege more than me. There are some people who are darker skinned than me, but maybe have a financial boost or ancestral connection that are like darker but still have certain amount of privilege over us, because whatever, there's different forms of privilege depending on the different areas you are in life, and it's very kind of, it's bizarre, but at the end of the day, listen, we all have different levels of privilege. We're all having to do that work to make sure that we're saying things that are non-offensive. I'm trying to do that every day. So then D'Andra and Carrie do this thing where they put their hands on hearts and they like tell each other how they feel and stuff. And I totally understood how they felt, because as an only child, they're both only children. That was really interesting. That I understand it's hard to be friends with other people when you're an only child. You just don't know what it's like to, I don't know what it's like to like interact with people. It's weird. So I got it. I think D'Andra really loves Carrie. I don't think Carrie's being real. I don't think Carrie likes D'Andra at all. And I think that was all just being a housewife, being fake. And I think D'Andra actually really loves her. And that's why she was crying. That's why Carrie wasn't. So they did that. I thought it was a nice moment for them. And I wanted that for them. And I was hoping that, you know, it would be real for them. I thought it was interesting that in the thing that they did this split screen. And I like these split screens that the Real Housewives are bringing into. And they both said the same thing about each other. They both said like you hurt the people that you love the most. And they also said something about, I don't know. But anyway, they're both only children and they both understand each other. I like that. I like D'Andra. Don't care about Carrie whatsoever. D'Andra, I think, is so beautiful and stunning. I think she's beautiful. I don't like it when they call her fat. I don't think she's fat at all. And no one has called them out on their unhealthy fat shaming when they call her fat and say, oh, she just is eating too many donuts. She's not fat. D'Andra is like a normal woman's size. She's fucking beautiful. She's hot. She's great. Anyway, so annoyed about that. There was this scene where Brandi is squashing her face against the window and she's like, Brandy's squashing her face against the window and she's like doing that. And then Tiffany's like, guys, like my 5-year-olds would find this funny. And I'm like, exactly. This is exactly my problem with Brandi, is that she has this toilet humor. It's like not funny. Like she's squashing her nose a bit like, what's going on? That's not funny. Like, I mean, it's like kind of funny, but it's not like like we're gonna laugh at this for 5 minutes. Like, Brandi, come on. I am on Tiffany Moon's vibe and understanding on so many levels. Like, that is my fucking bitch. I love Tiffany Moon everywhere. Anyway, so I don't understand Brandi's childish humor. Then they do this thing where they're sitting down amongst campfires. I just feel like I've watched too many Housewives this week around a campfire. I just feel like I've seen them all around a campfire. Like, at some point, like, stop it. I had enough. But they're around a campfire and Brandi and Cam is like, I'm going to scare these women by bringing this guy with a chainsaw to randomly jump out at some point. And they're telling scary stories. Cool. Okay, cool. Don't care. To be honest, with that campfire, I did think it was quite funny in terms of everyone. Like, Tiffany said she shit herself, and everyone kind of said that they shit themselves and peed themselves, and they didn't say it like it was like it was a joke. I feel like they honestly might have actually shit themselves and peed themselves, which I was even more horrified by. I was like, oh my God, did they actually? I've heard that women tend to let bodily fluids out a lot easier through excitement and stuff. So I don't know. And then it ended with the Brandi kind of saying she feels uncomfortable around Tiffany and that basically, because Brandi did the video that was perceived as racist and everybody was very negative towards her online, she's scared to now, like, I don't know, like, make jokes with Tiffany, or I don't know what Brandy's scared of. I don't know what Brandy's scared. I didn't quite get it. I know, I don't know if I don't know if she's scared of saying something that could be perceived as racist, or if she's scared that she's going to say something that's going to offend Tiffany and then people will perceive it as racist, or she's scared that she's going to be maybe say something and be edited as a racist on the show. So she doesn't really, I don't know what it is, but I feel like Tiffany was really annoyed during that dinner when Brandi was saying this, because I really feel like Tiffany doesn't look at Brandi as a racist and has never brought that vibe of, like, she did this video, like, brought it to the show. I think she spoke about it, ended it, enjoyed it, and I don't think she thinks Brandi is a racist at all. And I don't think she thinks that I think she just thinks that Brandi made a really bad joke, which is fine. So I don't understand Brandi's point of view in this. And I get why she would be wary in terms of, and this is why I'm thinking it could be that she's scared of how she's being edited. Because are you scared of actually saying something offensive, or are you scared that you're going to be edited in a way that makes you look offensive? If you're scared of the way you're going to be edited, I understand that. If you're scared of saying something that can be perceived by Tiffany as negative, which is kind of what she's saying, like, she's kind of saying, like, I think, because when she accused Tiffany of accusing her of, like, using drugs or something that wasn't good, whatever she accused Tiffany of, I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like Tiffany's not done anything wrong here apart from just be Chinese. And you're the one that made the joke about people being Chinese. So why is Tiffany now having to feel bad or having to take the energy of you being insecure or being on eggshells or you being scared of saying something? Like, Tiffany's done nothing. She's not. And even Stephanie said, Steph, because I'm her friend, Steph is my bestie. Stephanie even said, like, this is all on Brandi. Like, Tiffany's not done anything. This is Brandi's own head. And I kind of find that annoying to me. I've got to say, like, it pisses me off. You made the racist joke. You made the joke that was offensive. And now me, as the nationality of the person of the joke that you made the joke of, whatever, now I have to feel guilty for the way I've made you feel, because you've taken everything I've said as negative towards you, because you feel bad for what you said about my people. It's the craziest thing. It's like, Brandi, do you know what? It's not about you. Like, hello, it's not about you. Shut the fuck up. Like, sorry that you feel awkward, but do you know what? You did something that was offensive to people, and you should have known it was motherfucking offensive. And you didn't, and now someone told you it was, and so okay. But it's not fucking Tiffany fucking Moon's fault that you feel like that. Tiffany Moon's not done anything wrong. She's just sat there and lived her fucking life. She's just sat there and been Chinese. That's all she's done. And now you feel awkward around her. It's ridiculous. If you're so worried that you're going to say something racist, then look at what you fucking say. Because I don't worry when I speak to people who are of other nationalities, I don't worry that I'm going to offend them because I wouldn't say anything about their fucking race or their nationality that would be offensive. I'm not going to sit there and say, unless it's my own race, which is like when I'm with people who are of color. I'm mixed race, so I have like a white dad and a black mum. So when I'm with black people, we'll talk about being black, whatever. White people, we'll talk about being white, like whatever. When it's Asian people, I don't say shit. I don't say anything about their culture. I don't make assumptions. I don't use stereotypes. I don't say, oh, Asian people are like this. I don't. I've got Asian friends that have made jokes to me about their own Asian culture. They've said things like whatever, like I don't know, like about food they eat or whatever. They've made jokes to me about being Asian, like they're Asian and they're making jokes about their own culture. Fine, but I'm not now going to go up to them and make a joke about their culture. It just isn't a thing that I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't be like, oh, Asian people do this or whatever. Black people, I grew up around black people, so when I'm with my black friends, I'll be like, yeah, we're all gonna turn up late tonight. Like, I know the party says it starts at 7, but I'm gonna see you at 9, you know. And they're like, yeah, because we're black. Okay, cool. I'm black. You're black. We're black. Blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm not gonna make that joke to someone who's Asian. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're Asian. Are you gonna? I don't know when Asians turn up at parties. I wouldn't even know what. I wouldn't even know a joke to make about an Asian person. Let's just say that. Thing is, I'm not worried about offending anybody of another race. You know why? Because I don't come at them with that. Like it's not a thing. So if you're worried that you're going to go and offend somebody who is of a certain race, look at what you're saying then. Like, what is the content of your jokes? We're not going to get upset over any old thing. But I don't know about you, but I kind of know when something's racially offensive and when it's not. And you know what? If I ever say something that's racially offensive and someone said to me that was racially offensive, I would say sorry and I would never bring it up again and I would do every effort to make them feel better about that. I just would. I wouldn't be like, oh, well, now I feel bad. Now I feel awkward around you because I don't know what I can say around you. God, by the way, I've had friends of mine who... I've had some friends of mine who I've fallen out with because when I told them about their racially offensive behavior, their reaction was to blame me and said that I was wrong instead of own it and say, okay, I'm sorry. What can I do to change it? And that's where I'm at with it. Guess what? Not their friends anymore. Anyway, my glass of wine is empty. I finished this. Follow me on at a show about whatever. That is the Instagram. That's for this particular podcast. A show about whatever. And then you can follow me on my Instagram, which is Call Me Just Jordan, at Call Me Just Jordan. Call me. I'm also got a tarot website, which I don't know if anyone's listening to this at this point, but if you are, follow it, Just Jordan _tarot. Just Jordan _tarot. And that's where I post. I do tarot readings. If you want a tarot reading from me, please do it. And I also post stuff a lot, mostly about self-development and things like that. And honestly, what I love about it is that we can, what my whole message is as a human being, is that we can be fun people drinking alcohol with my empty glass. Drinking alcohol, listening to Housewives, talking about them. This person did this. Oh my God. And she said that. What a bitch. Blah, 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 blah. You know, doing all that gossiping stuff, but still be spiritual at the same time. Like, sometimes people think that if they want to be spiritual, they have to just like meditate every day and like exercise on the yoga mat and they can't watch television and oh my God. No, you can have the balance of both. You can be someone who smokes and drinks and has fun and bitches and but also be someone who's spiritual as well. It's about being realistic. And in this day and age, we can just be like that. It is possible because guess what? I'm doing it right now. I'm a really nice fucking person. And if you don't like me, go fuck yourself. Jokes. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Can't believe you're here. I just don't know what to say at this point. I'm smashed, wasted, feeling fucking great. Love you all. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Anchor, Spotify, everything. Follow me. I've got music coming out soon, by the way, and I can't fucking wait to share my music with people. I've got to say, like, I gotta say, oh, I'm just throwing wine all over my bed. I don't know why I'm doing that. But I've got to say, I'm so excited to share the music with people. And I'm really excited for people to hear it. And I hope people like it. I hope you like Justin Timberlake 2001 Justin Timberlake. I hope you like R&B from the 2000s. Naughty's R&B. Because fucking hell, that's where it's at. Bitches, see you later. How you doing?